What up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. I hope all is well with you. And guys, I am feeling rather melancholy these days, and you might be able to understand where I'm coming from when I tell you that I am a huge sci-fi fan. I'm a geek. I love Star Wars. I love Star Trek. I love comics. I love comic book movies. Like all of that stuff. There's so much of it that's out today. And yet, miraculously, somehow, I'm not watching any of it. You know what I'm saying? When I want to get that itch scratched, I usually go into the past. You know, I look at things that came before. For some reason, what's out there now, I just feel like they lost the plot. I just feel like they just don't understand the original vision of these things. And it's heartbreaking for me because, contrary to popular belief, I don't just want to hate this stuff. I want something to blow my mind. But for some reason, I can't get no satisfaction. I just can't, you know? So I look at this article that I have here on Screen Rant, for example, and they're talking about Star Trek, right? I haven't watched Star Trek in a long time, man. And basically what they're saying is apparently there's this new streaming movie that's coming out called Section 31. Didn't know about this, but it's an offshoot of Star Trek Discovery, or as we call it, STD, right? Disco. I gave up on that a long time ago. Spock never had a sister. You know, I don't see, this is what I'm talking about, just the contrivance of it all, right? But anyway, there's this movie that's coming out, and one of the stars is actually saying the quiet part out loud. He doesn't know, or he's scared that the Star Trek audience is going to reject this show because it's not the Trek that they want. He's actually saying this, right? So I'm going to read a little bit of this article. You guys can get in the comment section and tell me what you think, because I know that they watch us. I know that they go through our comment sections, all of that stuff. So sound off in the comments to me like you would to them, and maybe, just maybe, you know, they'll start to understand what's going on here, guys. I don't pretend to be that creator that has a bunch of backstage information or behind the scenes stuff. I'm just a guy sitting in front of my TV who just wants to be entertained. You know what I mean? Fiddling with my junk, you know, drinking my drink and everything. But for some reason, they can't bring it. So let's get into this, guys. And let's look at the headline here. It says, "It's not the Trek people want." Star Trek 31 actor shares his fears about how the new movie will be received. Now, this is Star Trek Section 31 star Rob Kaczynski, and he's sharing his concerns about how the upcoming movie will be received. Now, he plays a Section 31 agent named Zeph, Z-E-P-H. As Star Trek's first streaming movie, Section 31 will be released exclusively on Paramount Plus, which means I won't be seeing it because I don't have Paramount Plus, and quite frankly, I don't think they have the bait that it takes to hook this fish on Paramount Plus. I work too hard for my money. So, instead of having a theatrical release, Section 31's cast is led by Michelle Yeoh as Philippa Georgiou, a role Yeoh first played in the Star Trek Discovery series. I thought that series was made irrelevant or stricken from canon. I mean, as per Star Trek Lower Decks. I mean, isn't that what I heard people say? So I don't even see how this thing is even relevant anymore, but I guess it was produced before. So the movie will follow Georgiou and the secret Starfleet division known as Section 31. The secret Starfleet division. Look, let me tell you something, guys. See, right here is the problem, right? This is the thing that aggravates me so much with these new Star Trek inclinations. They seem to be so determined to focus on the internal strife of Starfleet. Now, when I think about Star Trek, okay, you can have those episodes sprinkled in and everything like that. Espionage, all right, internal strife, all of that good stuff. But when I think of the core of Star Trek, I think of optimism from Starfleet's point of view, right? Any strife, you know, any disruption or human question is usually metaphorically put on the civilizations that they find. You know, it's like Star Trek literally gave you the blueprint when they say space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Dude, they are literally giving you infinity. They are giving you everything that your imagination can imagine and more. And what do you do with a setup like that? What do you do with an alley-oop like that? let's talk about the internal tension in Starfleet. Let's talk about let's give them that. Starfleet is supposed to have their shit together by this time in the future. Like I said, the conflict comes from the new civilizations that they find, and you can use those things as a metaphor for what you have going on here today. But you can't be too heavy-handed. There can't be, metaphorically speaking, Donald Trump out there and you just go so heavy-handed on it. Yes, this is a statement for what's going on in America politics today. You know what I mean? This is the problem that I have with Andor. It might be the best show in the world, but I don't watch Star Wars for that. All right, I watch Star Wars because it is literally that. It's Star Wars. It's out there. It's not ground wars. You know what I'm saying? It's not hand-to-hand wars. It's not Spy Wars. It's Star Wars. I watch it for Jedi. I watch it for Sith. I watch it for the Force. I watch it for all of those things. You know what I mean? I don't want to see like stuff that is grounded. I don't want to see gritty. That's something else. Or if I do want to see it, I want to see it under some other name. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing, Star Trek. It's a trek through the stars. You're trekking. You're going. You're boldly going out there. That's what I want. Something that I never saw before. I've seen wars before. I've seen ground wars before. I've seen spy espionage wars before. I want to see something that's mythical. I want to see something that's larger than life. Right? But let's get to what this guy said real quick, guys. I got to wrap this up. I got to go to work, but first I got to walk the dog. He's patiently waiting. Smokey, I'll be there in a minute. All right. So anyway, it says here, this is what Kaczynski had to say. He's worried about Star Trek Section 31's reception because it's not more of Star Trek The Next Generation. He says, I'm terrified about how it's going to be received because it's not the Trek people want. It's not the Trek people want. The Trek that people want, the Trek that we all want, is just 1,000 more episodes of The Next Generation. Everyone's always furious that they're not getting more of The Next Generation. Whilst at the same time, when The Next Generation came out, everybody hated it. Is that true? Is that true? Guys, sound off. When The Next Generation came out, he says, everybody hated it. Everybody hated it. And that would explain why The Next Generation went on to become a classic. Why it got movies, which were so-so. You know what I mean? But did everybody hate The Next Generation? When I first saw The Next Generation, of course, I wanted to see more like, I don't know, I was looking for the new William Shatner, you know what I mean? New Captain Kirk and stuff. When Picard stepped up talking about engage, I was like, who's this bald mofo? You know what I mean? However, it didn't take long before they won me over. I loved Picard. I loved Data. I loved Riker. Once he got the beard, I loved Counselor Troy, if you know what I mean. So it was like, no, everyone did not hate The Next Generation when it came out. Please do not conflate what you're doing with what they did back then. Okay? It's just not the same. So he says, everyone is furious they're not getting more of The Next Generation, while at the same time, when The Next Generation came out, everybody hated it. So this is going to come along, and it's not going to feel like any Trek they've ever seen. Now, I'm going to take that as a warning. It's not going to feel like any Trek they've ever seen. So why are you calling it Star Trek? That's the question. If it's not like any Trek at all, why would you call this Star Trek? Oh yeah, because you want the dollars, you want the cents, you want the money. That's what you want. And you want the name recognition. That's it. Well, I say read the room. Because as you can see, all of this stuff, it's being disposed of. You know what I mean? Well, like I said, we already see Discovery has been strict from canon. It all should be strict from canon, struck from canon. You know, we should all be thinking about what Star Trek is. Like, just take a minute to reevaluate what it is that Gene Roddenberry was trying to get across. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So guys, I want you to take this as a warning, because this man right here, he's telling you, this Kaczynski fellow, this Rob Kaczynski, he's telling you it's not the Trek that you want. It's not the Trek that anybody wants. He actually said that. So if you do watch Star Trek Section 31 or whatever it is, why don't you tell me? Come back to this comment section. Tell me what you thought of it, okay? I am curious. I won't be seeing it because, as I said, I don't have Paramount Plus. But if this is something that you feel is interesting to you, and it might be good, but like I said, is it Star Trek is the question. That's the question. You let me know. All right, guys. That's all I have to say about that right now. As always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe. And of course, as I said before, if you want to contribute to the channel, you can hit that super thanks feature that is on each and every one of my videos right along the bottom of this screen right here. You see the thumbs up, you see the thumbs down, you see the share, you see the remix, and then you see a little heart with a $sign in it. That is the super thanks feature. If you want to click that, if I entertain you at all, if you feel sorry for me, whatever the case may be, go on and click that. Anyway, either way, I will see you on the next one if you're not totally disgusted. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.